We're starting the episode with the word stupid.
Oops, sorry. I was talking about my stupid
Buttons.
browser buttons.
I want to throw my computer off. This is my old computer, and I probably should throw it off a bridge. No, I shouldn't. That's not ecologically feasible, but I should donate it to a library or something.
Yeah, mine is really old, too. Hey, we're doing our part by not getting our new computer every 2 years.
And with the tariffs, it's too late now.
Yeah, aren't they excluded after Apple did all the corruption? It's only Apple, though, right?
I'm not going to buy a $10,000,
iPad.
My computer is $600 at the max, and it's a tax write-off because I use it for work. And I'd strive to get that tax write-off. And then, anyway.
Yes. Mine was 700. Yeah. And I got it before I started freelancing, and that was in 2019. What is it now? So it's 6 years old. Feels more ancient than that.
Yeah, this is my freelancing laptop too. It is 6 years old. And I have a new one that I got using credit card points.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Junk. But
oh man,
I only need to access the internet because everything I do is cloud computing. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Anyway.
There's that.
Yeah. Welcome to Greening Up My Act. What were we talking about tonight? Computers? No.
The joy of computing?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the joy of birds.
Yes.
So this is my newest obsession, and I have sent people at work pictures of my bird friends because they keep me company during my remote days. And
should point out I'm drinking a cocktail also.
Yes, in her coops.
My mother's coops that I think she bought for me.
They're so beautiful. Yeah, if you don't watch us on YouTube, you should look because they're beautiful.
They're discontinued Forta brand, I think. I looked them up. Anyway, Google image searches. Speaking of birds, Google image search for birds. Wonderful.
Oh, I
And
never even
plants.
thought about that.
Although my Google image search thought my passion flower plant was some kind of pear tree when it first sprouted. But anyway, it's not always accurate. But
yeah, those plant apps aren't always. They're okay, but
that's just Google.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yes, it's also my daughter's obsession, birds. We have quite a few bird feeders, which I will talk about. And I also got a bird book. So it's Birds of North America from my late grandfather, Herschel. We've talked about him a little bit.
R.I.P. Grandpa Herschel.
Yeah, we did. It was on the main.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was only Patreon. He had a bird, a really big bird book that he always had when I was growing up, and I looked at it all the time. And my aunt had it, and she was willing to give it to me, which was so nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Charlie and I both have been learning to identify different birds because I don't really know that many. And
I'm it's a sparrow.
Yeah. She loves a red cardinal, and she always calls them a red cardinal. There's a red cardinal. There's a red cardinal.
Are there blue cardinals? Are there green cardinals? I would like to, because we have a lot of cardinals. She'd love it here. She should come here.
Yeah, we have almost too many.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. And then the other day, she's like, that's a chickadee. And I was like, I actually think that it might be a chickadee.
Black head, black breast.
Yes.
Great.
I was like, dang, girl. And she's 4, so that's pretty cool.
Interesting fact. You might know this about chickadees.
I probably don't.
They call them chickadees because that's the sound they make when human beings approach. So we call them the name they call us.
Oh my
Their word
God.
for us is chickadee. Yeah.
That is so interesting. It's
so poetic.
Basically means danger.
It's human being. Yeah. Fucking asshole.
Yeah. What was that?
We call them fucking assholes to their faces, and they're like,
excuse me.
That's just rude. What we call you.
That is so interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been slowly adding to my, actually pretty rapidly adding to my bird feeder collection around my yard, and it made me wonder, should I be even feeding them? Should I be doing this? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it too long for the year? All of these questions were just running around through my head. So for this episode, I was like, I love having birds in my bird feeder, flying around, and I love attracting them, but yeah, I just wanted to answer those questions. Like, am I feeding the birds correctly? Or is there something better?
Is this the right choice? Is this the greening up my act?
Yes.
Seal of approval.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, because it brings me so much joy. But am I doing harm? We'll see. We'll find out. Welcome to Greening Up My Act. I feel like I should cough in the middle of that.
I should just... No. We've already warmed up. You don't need a cough. That was me.
Yes, hello. So, should we say who we are first?
You know what? I was thinking about it. I don't know a single podcast that introduces themselves and who they are. Other than us. Because, like, if you're listening to us, I mean, if you're new, welcome.
Yeah.
But
I think people do, but maybe more briefly than us.
Okay, well, okay, maybe say the stated point of greening up my act versus birds, what this season. I just got a really good robot chicken image of like celebrity deathmatch, and it's like greening up my act versus like Cardinal and Chickadee, and we're like Chickadee, and they're like, don't call me fucking asshole. Like. We're greening up my act. What is our stated purpose for this season? Perhaps might be something to go.
Yeah. Joy. We want a break from the shit show that is the world, and
thinking.
Yeah. I mean, you did a lot of thinking. Actually, your last episode that was like
too much. I was realizing I'm way more into this than I was into like glass recycling or whatever. I was like. Dogs. Because
dogs.
I've just been researching it for like I read books about dogs all the freaking time, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't even consider it as a sustainability initiative, but.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, mine's going to be a lot shorter, but that's fine. I love birds, but you know, I'm not. I actually do read bird books, to be fair, but it's not like about. It's not like novels, or not novels even. Like
I read bird
nonfiction.
Novels. Yeah. You're not reading bird studies? Yeah. No, I mean...
Bird novels.
I think, and maybe that's something we should prep people for, is this season might be shorter episodes that are like less structured.
Yes. Know. Yeah, totally.
We're not answering a question.
Yeah. And we maybe are, maybe aren't, but
there's a line from a song by Over the Rhine that says, "You need questions, forget about the answers." We're creating questions, right?
I love it.
Yeah,
there you go.
Is bird feeding sustainable?
That is super fitting for this episode too.
Okay, good. There's our question, and maybe we'll answer it, and maybe we'll just have cocktails.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe.
Which is a bird question. Why are they named after birds? Cocktails would be. Rooster tails, right? Anyway, sorry. That's a question for a Patreon
Cockatiels?
Episode.
Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah. I'll look it up. As a linguist. As a resident linguist, I will look it up.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm interrupting you because we're having too much fun tonight.
This is what these episodes are about.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to go through my sources really quickly because there's only 4.
Yay! Look at
Woohoo!
you.
And actually, I used the Audubon. What is it? Audubon Society? Audubon.
Yes. I have a friend who is a in-house counsel for them, so I like the Audubon Society quite a bit.
I do too. I should have.
We should put them together, and they can hang out.
Yeah. What, the birds and your friend, or what?
Or our Audubon Society friends. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. No, that's not. Oh, I understand now. I don't also have. I don't have an Audubon.
I was so excited. I was going to set them up on a play date.
That's why I was so confused.
Like, Judy, I have an Audubon friend for you. No, I don't. Tiffany misunderstood me.
I do not. I unfortunately do. I wish I did. No, I meant I do.
Judy. You can meet Judy.
I meant I do too. I would love to meet Judy. I mean, I do too. I also love Audubon Society.
Okay, yes, okay. Okay. I was like, wow, we both have friends in the Audubon. What are the odds? There's only like 7 employees for them or something.
Yeah, right. No, I wish. They're very cool.
They
I
are
really-
cool. They do a lot of great work, and their books are great. And yeah,
Yeah. So I used them twice for 2 different articles.
I mean they are the resident.
Oh no, 3. Because I also
Everything's Audubon Society. Good
I also
reason.
have a PDF
Okay.
and from them, and I'm gonna link to the PDF because it's like the world's longest link, but they have some really good PDFs. So I'll get there later. And then the NWF, National Wildlife Federation Foundation.
Yeah, Federation.
Foundation.
Frustration.
The National Wildlife Frustration. Okay. Perfect. I also use them. And to be honest, I tried to find other sources that seemed reputable. It was really hard to find on this topic because everyone's got an opinion.
Yes,
And
and
everyone's
not
opinion
facts.
is different.
Yeah. Well, okay, because birding is so hip right now, right?
I think so. It is 100%. Birding is definitely hip. I don't know. It's like Reddit had lots of things, and I was just like, ugh.
I love Reddit and I hate Reddit.
I know, because
Yeah.
it depends on how you format the question too. What
Yeah.
answer you're gonna get for this topic specifically. I don't know what it was, but I think it's that there haven't been that many studies. People
Okay.
aren't like studying songbirds or like birds around your house all that often. So
We just take them for granted.
if I missed one of them, send it my way because it just wasn't clear to me. It wasn't
I
apparent.
would love if the one season of Greening Up My Act that got like negative feedback was Joy. Like they're like, yeah, your recycling episodes are great, and like your anti-Trump messaging and your, no one get, and then they're like, no birds, like that would be
You're not
amazing
allowed to like
if our
birds.
first emails were like, you got it wrong about the songbirds or dogs.
Right.
I'm sure last week's dogs episode is gonna.
Oh well, yeah.
I'm gonna
that's
get
also
hate mail.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, that would be awesome. I would actually love that.
hate mail for the Joy season.
Yeah, and I actually haven't gone birding, but mostly because I think there are groups around here that do it, and I'm pretty sure I would be the youngest, like by far.
Really?
So I think.
Oh, okay. Well, it is kind
Maybe
of an
that's a
elder
stereotype.
millennial.
Oh, elder millennial. No, I
Oh,
was
I
thinking
mean-
like retiree.
Okay. Well, elder millennials hang out with retirees. We're kind of friends.
No, you're not wrong. I went to Salvation Army again today and was like me and the retirees. And I loved
We're
it. Every
friends.
second of it.
We're friends. Yes.
Yes. Okay. No, I should try it. I don't know why. It doesn't matter if I'm the youngest. Like,
No,
who
actually,
cares?
I used to have a saying that if you're the youngest person in the joint, you're in the right place.
Oh.
That was my saying for when I went to the Santa Fe Opera in my 20s, and I was like, everyone's 65.
Oh, because you know what's up, basically.
They know how to live life. They know how
Yeah.
to enjoy life. They're done worrying about sex or family or they're
drugs
just like,
or rock and roll.
This is the thing. This is the thing that doesn't give me heartburn and is worth staying out past 9 p.m. for.
You're not wrong. I love that, actually.
And birds actually fall into that category.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you heartburn.
No.
Maybe we're staying out or getting up at 6 a.m. I guess.
I was going to say, I don't know if 9 p.m. is going to help, but
not in that.
unless
position.
you're looking for owls.
Which, yes.
Which?
Love them. Yes.
They're great.
They're great.
Yeah, so, okay. So I do want a bird, but, because, a lot of people are becoming
I want to
birders,
say
and
she
it's so
wants
cute.
2 bird, not a bird.
I want 2 bird.
Okay.
To become a birder.
Okay. Yeah.
There.
Because
Yeah.
we don't want a bird.
I want a bird in my house. No, I don't.
No.
Actually. I don't.
It's too much responsibility.
Yeah. Anywho's, so bird feeders.
Okay.
Potential drawbacks of bird feeders.
Okay.
They do exist. And you actually mentioned it at one point, like hummingbird feeders. You have to
Yes.
clean them really well.
Yes.
I just got a hummingbird feeder, and I've been pretty careful about cleaning it. No hummingbirds yet, but it's only been a couple days.
And it's early in the season, I think, too, for Maryland.
I hope I didn't miss it.
Or
It
your
said,
dog
like,
is
right
scaring
around-
away.
Yeah, it said right around this time. Or my child, she's like, let me check the hummingbird feeder every 5 seconds. So cute. So, feeders in general, bird feeders, have actually contributed to outbreaks of diseases. So, house finch eye disease is one of them.
Oh my God.
I know. I didn't
That
look
sounds
into
horrible.
it. I know. I didn't look into it because I was
I
like,
don't
that
want
sounds
to.
so sad.
I don't want to, yeah.
And actually, we just saw our first house finch the other day. And
Does it have eye disease?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. It's fine. It's fine.
Oops. I didn't hit anything. I don't think so. No, but Charlie and I were sitting at our dining room table, and we have one of those like suction cupped bird feeders that you put on your window. My brother-in-law actually gave it to me because he bought it, and he's like, I didn't realize that all of our windows have screens, so we can't use
suction
it.
anything. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so it's perfect for us actually because it's like right by our dining room table. So when we're eating,
nice.
we're like, birds. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen that one before. So we Googled it and then figured out it was a house finch. Anyway,
So is it from like a fungus in the food, or like the wrong food, or a virus that they get from each other? Or...
I think it can be both. One of the things, I don't know about specifically about the eye disease, but it also, they can spread like respiratory diseases.
That's fair, because they're all gathered.
Yes, and I think it's because, a number of things. Your food can go moldy, which can be fatal for birds. Your food, just like, having all of these birds, especially different species together that aren't normally together, can just spread shit that wouldn't normally spread.
The bird flu?
Well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've also wondered. And so, and also if you have like, I guess I have this somewhere else, but I'll just say it now. Like underneath your bird feeder, there can be like a bunch of old food and poop and stuff mixed together, and it can create like a slurry, especially if it's wet, and that can spread disease.
Slurries. Well, to your dog too. Your dog can eat it and get giardia, but also
or that. Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah,
Sorry, I hate slurries.
Yeah, I know.
Slurries are so gross. Okay.
I know. Mine hasn't done that yet that I've seen. No slurries over here, so
no slurries over
keep
here.
an eye on it. But they can also. This is one study, so I need to be very clear about that. And it was a study on Spanish white storks. So this is
specific. I mean, do you have Spanish white storks coming to your yard? Is my question. But okay.
I wish.
I love applying scientific findings to, like, especially biological. Like, Sean, my boyfriend, talks about all the time all these studies that people are doing. He's like, they're studying the eyeballs of a certain frog in Texas. And I'm like, okay, it could lead to all kinds of research for other things. You know, like, it's so necessary. But it's so funny how, like, we have access to all these reports and findings that it's like, so it was true of one group of birds in Spain.
Yes.
But we think it might be true. Further testing is needed. Anyway, I freaking love science for that. Like,
yeah. So, because the Audubon Society, like, they used this study as an example that, like, feeding birds has the potential from this study to alter their behavior. So
fair.
These storks typically migrate, but they didn't migrate. They usually went to North Africa, and instead they stuck around because there were landfills full of food.
oh.
So that in this case meant that sick birds that normally wouldn't survive the migration flight,
Kept going and mated.
Yeah, and they were around to infect more birds, so it was a problem.
Interesting.
So again, that's not your cardinal, you know. Like,
no, right. I know, like, robins aren't going through this, right?
Yeah. But I have over the years heard people say you shouldn't feed your birds, or you shouldn't use a bird feeder in certain times of the year because of that.
Because it will encourage them to stay
instead of migrate.
But
But everything else that I've read says seems like that's not true.
Okay.
Of songbirds specifically.
Okay. Songbirds.
Maybe, yeah. So
the
maybe
birds we love.
if you have a landfill, sure, maybe. But if you don't have a landfill in your backyard.
In Spain. Yeah.
In Spain, specifically. Yeah. So, again, if you can prove me wrong, please. But the thing that they were saying is, like, most bird feeders have, ideally, food that you would find anyway in the, like, anything that's in there that the birds are going to eat is going to be in nature
naturally
also.
Occurring. Yeah.
So it's sort of like,
you're not
really.
Yeah, you're not like, they're not getting bacon, you know?
Right. Yeah. The landfill, different story, I guess, but.
There's a lot of bacon in the landfill just from my house because I forget it's in the fridge. So that's a callback to last week.
Yeah, I wish we weren't recording that, but you called yourself a slob. And
I am. I'm a total slob when it comes to the fridge. And then, okay.
It was so funny.
We should just give the birds the bacon. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Your old moldy bacon. That's perfect.
Moldy bacon. It's not moldy, okay? My fridge works.
Sorry.
I just don't eat it. I don't know.
Sour bacon? I don't know. Anyway, it's got to be old at this point. It's
dry.
Not good.
It was probably fine. I probably
old.
could have given it to the dogs, but...
Okay. Not that old then.
I didn't.
You're not that much of a slob. Okay.
Okay. Keep telling me that. Let's go on about birds, though.
Yeah.
Tell me more about birds.
So... I also looked up very, very, very briefly about bird flu because every time I go out to my bird feeder, I'm stressed out about bird flu because you hear on the news, like, exposure to wild birds, blah, 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 blah. Caused bird flu in this person, whatever. Turns out it's more likely for birds like owls or
eat
ducks.
Oh, ducks.
Yeah, or... raptors, like
so that eat dead birds or kill birds that have flu and they can get it.
Probably, but you would think
ducks are not. Ducks do not eat pigeons. I'm just gonna throw that out there that I know of. I could be wrong.
I don't know. This says waterfowl, so Spanish storks.
Spanish storks, for instance. I wonder. Okay, that's interesting. I
Again, I really didn't look into this very much.
For all of the work that I have done in healthcare, I'm not very understanding of infectious disease. Mm-hmm. And the way the flu works, the way that birds transfer disease to mammals. I mean, it's so complex.
Yeah.
It's so nuanced. And... when I went to Hong Kong for the first time in 2006, 2007, there were no birds on the city street. Because there had been the bird flu outbreak of 2005, 2006.
Oh, wow.
And it occurred to me they killed all of their city birds.
Oh, my God.
Because of the fear of this flu. And, like, we who have experienced COVID and we're like, oh, it was so, like... they killed entire populations of animals, like, because they were carrying the strain. Like, we haven't encountered that in the United States. But, I mean, H5N1 is pretty scary that it transfers to cows and can be transmissible through milk and raw food for pets. And, like, we haven't killed off all of our songbirds because we're afraid they're going to give us the flu, Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just something that I feel like we're such innocent babies in this country about.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and so as far as songbirds, it's really, there's like really a low chance that they're going to have bird flu. And it's still super rare for it to actually be
transmissible. Yeah.
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 To humans.
Fair. Yeah.
But still wash your hands.
I mean, yeah, don't pick up any dead animals without gloves on, and
definitely not dead animals.
Don't let
and
your
even
dog
if you're
chew on it. Yeah.
No, and even if you're Like every time I change the feeder, I still wash because there's like poop on it. You just don't know.
Salmonella, Giardia.
Yeah, there's lots of shit.
Yeah. We're all.
So I still wash my hands and am like really careful about that stuff. But no, I don't think I'm gonna get bird flu from my birds.
I don't think you will.
From my red cardinals.
Yeah, you're red cardinal.
Red cardinal. So because of all this. Aside from bird flu, but because of the chance of spreading disease, between birds and causing all these potential migratory issues with storks.
Apparently,
should we stop feeding them? That was my big question. Like,
yes.
Should I have a bird feeder?
That is the thesis. Yes.
Yes. And according to Daniel Becker, who is a PhD candidate at University of Georgia's School of Ecology, he says, absolutely not. So do not stop feeding them.
Okay. Feed the birds.
So I was like, yay.
I will follow whatever you say, Daniel.
Yes, you are
Dr.
my
Daniel.
new
Almost
idol.
Soon to be Dr. Daniel.
Yes. Yeah. And he says there are plenty of simple things we can do to avoid many of the potential harmful outcomes. So I will get into those in a minute. How far along are we? No.
25 minutes. We could take a break if you want.
Yeah, let's take a break.
All right.
Okay.
Quick break.
Let me just get this going. Okay. Okay, sweet.
Break over.
Break commenced. Great. Not commenced. Uncommenced.
Uncommenced.
Jesus Christ. I don't even have a cocktail.
I know.
Okay.
I'm feeding some kind of energy through the wires.
And I love it.
I don't know.
It's
okay,
my favorite.
Good.
Yeah.
It's birds.
Yeah. It's birds. Okay, so my other question was, do we feed them year round? Like, I've heard so many times, oh, you shouldn't feed them in the winter for this,
right.
Maybe the migratory.
Because the Spanish birds will not migrate
yes,
to
exactly.
South Africa, or North Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it turns out that we actually don't really need to. And because I'm pretty new at this whole bird feeding thing, this is really my first year of doing it. So I'm noticing in the winter, oh my God, they devoured. Yeah, like I thought I was gonna go broke.
That video that you shared, of the birds just like. Rah!
Yeah, it was literally like 30 of them at a time, and every day I was out there filling this huge bird feeder, and that was the winter. And then now that it's warm and there's more stuff for them to eat,
they're
like
it.
barely even touching it. Yeah. So that's what's so interesting. It turns out in the spring, 96% of songbirds rely on caterpillars and insects.
Okay.
To feed their young, specifically. But that's like, most of them, that's what they're consuming. And it's a shitload of them. Like a shocking amount of insects. I almost said one shittity. Sorry, I'm not trying to shit on chickadees again. I love them.
They're so cute.
They're not little turd sacks. Anyway, okay. So, one chickadee can bring between 350 and 570 caterpillars for her babies every day.
What?
I don't know how.
Okay, I'm thinking several, and you might address this, but I'm thinking...
I won't, probably.
Okay, well, so what I want then is not to use insecticides. Because then the birds don't have any to feed their young. Uh-huh. But then also to feed the birds so that they know I have food in my yard, so they take all of the caterpillars off of my tomato plants and feed them to their young. I want chickadees in my yard. Okay, I'm getting it. All right.
Because that's what basically the consensus is, that instead of feeding them from a bird feeder in the spring, plant native plants that support insects.
So they'll come in, they'll eat all the wasps.
Yeah,
I wish.
Whatever they're gonna eat. Yeah, because I had these dumb little caterpillars that were eating the hell out of I planted this swamp rosenello, and it's like native, but
it sounds terrible, but
it's sort of like hibiscus. It's really pretty.
Ooh.
But yes, these little caterpillars were everywhere, and I'm like, where were my chickadees? Come on, guys, because I had to like kill them myself. Anyway,
you gotta hire the chickadees in the winter.
Yes.
So they'll come back for you in the spring.
Yeah, maybe I've done
the
that.
Trick.
Fingers crossed this year. So yeah, and I don't, from what I can tell, I don't think it's bad to feed them in the spring. So like right now I still have food out, and I don't think
they
that's
just won't eat
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like if they,
or the bachelors, the unwed mothers. They'll
Exactly.
the non-breeding pairs. Still
Yes.
eat.
Yeah. So they. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's just maybe wasting a little bit of money. I don't know. Summer and fall, they eat bugs, seeds, berries, and nuts. And native plants of many varieties, including late blooming flowers, grasses, and trees, go to seed at this time of year, which gives birds like lots of healthy fats that they need. And so you can plant lots of those.
Okay.
And that helps. So
amaranth and yeah.
You might even know more than me. So aster, I made a little list, but like asters, elderberry, sumac, juniper, those are some options.
Those I'm are so more allergic to juniper, but I mean
juniper's
like
all
over here
too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And apparently, red spice bush.
Okay.
They have berries, and I'm pretty sure they're edible by people because I think I went hiking once and my friend was like, "Eat this," and it tasted like pepper. But maybe I'm thinking about it. Don't go out and eating them because I'm not sure that was the right one. Anyway, that one berry provides the same amount of fat for birds as 50 blackberries.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I mean, to be fair, blackberries aren't really like fat heavy,
I know, I'm like they're water and fiber mostly, but
yeah. So, yeah.
But they need it to hibernate, right? During the
yeah, exactly. And it's a lot easier to find one berry than it is 50 blackberries. So, then we get to winter, and this is where we really can up our game. Okay. And like where we can play I'm trying to think of a sports metaphor. Anyway.
This is a women's podcast. We don't need sports metaphors.
You're right.
Just kidding.
I don't
sports
know them.
Or not. Yeah, I
don't know them. So obviously that's not my jam. Anyways.
To watch more WNBA. Anyway.
Yeah, I know, really. I hear it's like pretty cool now.
It's pretty
always
exciting.
Been cool.
Anyway. It's always been cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also still basketball though. Anyways. So actually some birds do cache their nuts. I don't know why I laughed at that. Or their berries.
Like squirrels. Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't know. And others actually suck like sap from trees. So the red-bellied sapsucker, I think, is a bird that I just learned about. And
very aptly named.
Yeah. Yes. I wonder what color its belly is. Maybe purple. Anyway, so but still currently there's like less native land and less space for birds to do this. So winter is the perfect time for us to come in and give them food, which is why they were absolutely destroying.
Bonkers. Yeah. You got bonkers birds going on.
Yeah. And apparently it's really good to do like, I'm going to talk about food quality in a bit, but providing a wide variety is good. So like dried mealworms, I've never tried that before. That's really good. Apparently they love their worms.
Protein. Yeah.
Yep. Dried fruit, seeds, suet. I'll tell you a story about my suet feeder in a minute. And then it's good to avoid filler food because a lot of these like bird seed mixes, I'm learning, I didn't know this until I did this research, are a lot of filler food. So Milo is basically sorghum. And it's like those little reddish brownish balls. They're like really small.
You feed it like parrots. I mean, like
yes, you see it everywhere. But those apparently most songbirds don't even like them. They won't even eat them. It's just like filler.
Okay.
Corn, although I've kind of read some different things about like some birds do like cracked corn, and millet is similar. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently it's worth spending all of your money on bird
Feeding
food.
the birds, yeah.
Because, Jesus Christ, I went cheap, and now I know I can't do that
They
anymore.
just spill it all on the ground.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And then it turns into a slurry. Anyway.
Gross. So gross.
But doing that can help attract a wide variety of bird species to your garden and also help them get through the winter months. So you're doing good then.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it is
so
good. Okay,
super
feed
helpful.
the birds. Okay.
Yes. And then what else should we be doing if we are feeding the birds? So we can clean the feeders. That's like number one.
Fair.
And you've said this before, but so you want to completely scrub out your feeders at least twice a year, probably more. And between
that sounds
seasons,
low. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Between seasons is good too, but yeah, twice a year is what I saw. And obviously it depends on the amount of moisture. So if you see any mold, definitely clean that.
in
clean
Albuquerque,
that shit out.
there's like
No moisture.
bone dry. Yeah,
That's fair.
but I will tell I will ask my dad if I know he cleans his hummingbird feeders, but I wonder about the
Hummingbird feeder is different. You're gonna want to do that like every
time.
2
Every week.
days, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
At
That's
least
what it
every
said.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think having a hummingbird feeder in a shady spot can help it not like
doesn't
go
grow
bad.
mold in the because
Yeah.
it's sugar water.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that too.
Okay.
So, use like oxygen bleach, which is funny because it's like 10% non-chlorinated bleach solution is what people were saying. And I'm like, non-chlorinated bleach, that rings a bell. Oh yeah, it's oxygen bleach. We had a whole episode about oxygen bleach and green bleach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just leave them out in the sun for. Right?
Yes, sun
Wash
bleaching.
them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it does say like clean them out, wash them. I never use oxygen bleach. I think I just use like vinegar, but and then let them dry completely, and then you're good.
Refill. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Again, I think I mentioned all that about the researching the kinds of food that birds like, so I can skip that part. It does say it's good, like if you have not sunflowers, but like sunflower seed in one feeder, and then in the other one you'll have like peanuts. I don't know.
Okay.
Something
Switch
else.
it up. Yeah.
Because different kinds of bird, different species are attracted to different foods, and so that's less likely to have a bunch of different kinds of birds intermingling and spreading disease. So apparently that's better.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. My dad has like an Oriole feeder and a Finch feeder and a like different. He does different types of food for different zones in his yard. So
yeah, that's a good thing.
smart. Okay.
And putting suet out only in cold weather is good because suet can turn rancid if it's too hot. Which
my dad's
glad
dog
I read
likes
that because
to,
I would have thrown mine out there. It might be fine, but
I mean,
it might not.
I mean, depends on how quickly they eat it, right?
Yeah.
My dad's dog like waits for the suet feeder to fall and then eats the suet because it's fat.
I know, and that dog probably has massive diarrhea.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
Well, okay, I'll tell my suet story.
Okay, tell your suet story.
I put mine out twice, and twice either a possum or a raccoon has opened it up, climbed up the little tree, opened it up, it actually wrapped it around the tree somehow, opened it up, and they're not that easy to open.
No,
These freaking...
it's probably a raccoon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. And gone. Just gone. It was double-sided, gone.
Like a
that thing has got to have
Milky Way
like
bar just straight down
massive amounts of shit everywhere. Like I'm surprised there's not like raccoon diarrhea everywhere.
I'm sure it's in your next door neighbor's yard. Raccoons are freaking. Have you seen the videos where people like grease up their bird feeder poles
No.
so that the squirrels can't climb up them?
Oh my god, that's
And
hilarious.
the squirrels just look like strippers. They're like going down like. That's so good.
I love that.
Yeah.
The squirrels don't bother ours, but I think it's because there aren't like a bunch of trees around it or something. But you can actually get a squirrel feeder, which I considered. I know. That's like slippery slope, but...
Did I tell you what I saw the other day in my yard?
No.
A squirrel carrying a pork rib bone. And it took
Oh my God.
And it ran, like, I've got these squirrels on the fence that like to just tease my dogs, but it ran up the fence and it looked at me holding this bone. It was like, this big on its face.
My God.
Pork rib. and it showed it to me. And then it took it up the tree and it put it in the crook of the tree in my neighbor's yard and it ran off. And the next day it came back and got it and showed it to me and ran off. And I was like, you're eating pork ribs.
That's insane.
Squirrels here are monsters. Anyway.
Wow.
Pork ribs.
I've never heard of that before. Do they eat meat? Apparently.
There's a guy, like, one of the things we have so much trouble with here is that people just throw chicken bones and stuff around.
Yeah. We had that problem with Ruby.
Yeah, and like our dogs are just like, arm, arm, arm. But I asked, like a guy was like, oh yeah, I throw the chicken bones out for the squirrels because they clean them off, and so apparently they do.
That's so interesting.
Squirrels are vicious.
Down with squirrels.
I mean, probably not. We should probably do an episode on squirrels, but
I know I love squirrels. Actually,
they're great. I love watching them. They're funny. They're smart.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
and the way Charlie says squirrel.
How does she say squirrel?
Is the cutest thing.
It's the hardest word to say in the English language.
I know.
Squirrel.
It's like squirrel is how she says it. Something like that. I can't do it, but it's so cute. It's like every time she says it, I just want to
You can tell how she's spelling it in her head.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a weird one to spell.
Yeah.
In French, it's écureuil, which is probably where we get it from.
How is that where we get it?
Well, because it's the QU and the... An écureuil. I don't know.
See, that sounds very different to me, but I don't speak
It sounds like squirrel to me. Okay, fine.
Okay.
We're talking about birds. Back to the birds.
Back to the birds. All right. So, yeah, anyway, the stupid raccoon. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to figure that out. But apparently, I don't have to figure it out until winter. So, I'm good.
You've got time. 6 months.
Oh, and another thing about hummingbird feeders. Don't buy, like yours truly, hummingbird food.
Yeah.
Because I went to this, like, bird store, because it's, like, a local store, and I wanted to support them, whatever.
I'm going to throw out Wild Birds Unlimited in Albuquerque. Go there.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
That's where Dad goes. Yeah.
I don't know anything about hummingbirds. So I was like, okay, we'll get some supplies. I'll get a little feeder. I'll get some food. Oh, that sounds like that would make my life easier. Because I don't really know what hummingbirds eat. I get home. Well, I'd had it for a couple weeks when I finally put the feeder up. It's sugar.
Yeah, it's just sugar.
And
sometimes it has red food coloring in it.
Yeah, this one doesn't, luckily. But I
don't think they do that anymore, but yeah.
$8 on a little container of sugar. And you look at the ingredients and it says finely ground sucrose. That's table sugar. Sucrose. It's like, God dang it,
so you're basically you could probably add it to cocktails as simple syrup and just...
No, 100%. That is
call it a hummingbird cocktail. That'll be $20, thank you.
I was like, are you crazy? I was so mad.
So you just make simple syrup?
Yeah, I was also like, this person's a genius, whoever's marketing this stuff. Because it's
Elon.
like easy. Yeah, Elon Musk. It's like, oh, it's easy.
Just
it's
add
like all
water.
This stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Ugh. Anyway. So don't do that.
Sugar. So hummingbird
not powdered necessarily, but like table sugar.
Okay. So you just...
Granulated. Yeah.
But you just look up like... It's not...
Yeah. There is a proportion you need to... Yeah.
Because I was going to say, it's not like simple syrup where it's a cup to a cup. It's
no.
Okay.
It's a lot lighter than that, but
yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know. Yeah. I think there's like a couple different
versions. Yeah. Recipes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, because this was like 3 scoops, which this just said scoops, and I was like, I'm going to go with a teaspoon.
Yeah. Scoop a tablespoon? For me, it's a tablespoon, but
yeah,
it didn't provide a scoop?
No.
Bastards.
I know. I was like, not even a scoop.
You got obese hummingbirds? In your sucrose. What are you doing?
But yeah, for 1 cup, that's what it was. So
okay, so like 3 teaspoons for a cup of water. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah.
So a tablespoon. Because a teaspoon, 3 okay, anyway.
Wait, 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know. I took home ec 4 times because it was the only elective I could take in middle school because I took advanced math and they conflicted, so.
Oh my God.
There were lots of, and I took a lot of home ec. It was great.
I don't think they're doing home ec anymore, which is so sad. Weird. It's the only reason I know how to, like in school. Yeah. Like, it's the only reason I know how to sew a button.
I know. I don't even know how to sew a button, but I know how to... I mean, we obviously had very different home economic classes, but I learned that 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon.
Right, yeah. We did very little cooking, I remember.
Oh, we did so much cooking.
Okay. Ours was mostly sewing, and I feel like we did some personal finance stuff too, which is useful.
What?
I think.
Lucky. We did like
It's been a
family
while.
planning, maybe. I think we watched
Oh.
birthing happen on the TV once, and I was like,
In home ec?
yeah.
Who
I
knows?
still remember my home ec teacher. She was wonderful. I loved her, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did take it 4 times. So
Well, fair. You were her favorite student by far.
I think
You
she
knew every
hated me.
answer.
She hated me the first year because I was dumb as a rock, and then she nominated me for student of the week or something in 8th grade. And I was like, no. She said it. If
There
I
you
had a
go.
daughter, it would be you or something. And I was like,
Whoa.
Tracy.
Oh my god.
I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Anyway, Tracy, shout out to
Aw,
Tracy. I don't know what
That's
happened to her.
sweet.
I wonder if she's retired now. But anyway.
Yeah, these teachers make such an impact. If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're also
hilarious.
impactful. yeah.
Very impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's great.
Okay, so I have just, wrapping up here, 6 different types of feeders that,
Okay.
according to the Audubon Society, everyone should have in their home. Obviously, if you have like
Outside your home. Don't feed birds in your home.
well, fair.
Problems will ensue.
Yes. If you have like a balcony, you don't want 6, But
I was just thinking, I'm like, could I put them all in my front yard? Probably. Okay.
probably.
Except the cat next door.
Yeah, the cats are a problem.
I have to get a BB gun for Simon. Anyway, okay.
Oh, that was actually I skipped over that point, but keep your cats inside, especially in the spring, because cats do actually, that's not a myth, kill
They raid nests.
millions of birds per year.
Millions. Yeah, they're killers. Cats are killers.
Yeah, and bells on their collar, some people think that they help and they don't. Like some people think, oh, that will warn the bird. No, it doesn't warn
cats
the bird.
move slow
The
enough
bird's
that
probably
they
like,
won't.
yeah, bird's
And
probably
it's listening
oh,
to this
who's
like, what else
tweeting?
is going on? Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
car horn honking down the street and a cat bell is going to...
Right.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So tube feeder, which is you can use like seeds in that, and I have that one. I have 4 out of 6, which makes me so happy.
But look at you.
Yeah.
Killing it.
This one I have to completely take apart because it did get moldy, and I have to like unscrew it with a screwdriver. But I found these like little cover things that hang over and that
To keep
blocks
the water
rain.
off of it. That's
And
fine. Yeah, but I
it
think
helps
my
with
dad
squirrels.
has one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, so good. A suet feeder is another option. Has not gone well so far. Thistle feeder, I do have that too. Niger is like a whole thing, but Niger seed is what most people call it. And that thistle is not Niger, but Niger is trademarked. It's very confusing.
Wild.
It's
Okay.
very confusing. Yes. Niger is from like, I want to say... I don't
Not
think it's
Nigeria,
North-
weirdly.
Well, yeah, it is Africa, but I don't
Okay.
think it's not sub-Saharan Africa. I think it's maybe North Africa. I don't.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking. I don't know. I might be mixing it up. But anyway, it's from somewhere on that continent that I can't.
This
recall
enormous continent.
at the moment.
Yeah.
But Ethiopia? No, I don't know. Anyway,
That's
so
Sub-Saharan, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Anywho's, so yeah, you can buy Niger seed
Okay.
though. It's a whole thing. So or thistle, they're similar, not exactly the same. I think they do the same thing.
Interesting.
Then you can have nectar feeders like a hummingbird feeder or a fruit feeder where you can actually like jam an orange
So
slice.
that's what my dad does for the
That's what I was going to
Orioles.
ask you. I figured.
They're back. He thinks he saw a juvenile Oriole last week, so he's put the oranges with the grape jelly back out in the little glass jars.
Yes. What's the jelly? They just eat it?
They do. It's
Okay,
like
because
sugar.
I saw
mean, it's the
some of
same as
these
sugar.
feeders, and it had a little bowl for jelly, and
Yeah.
you can slam an orange slice into it, and not slice, an orange half.
Yeah, he has a whole crate of oranges, and he slices
Oh my
them.
God.
He puts the jelly right on top of the orange. the
Oh,
Orioles.
okay. I should
Yeah.
have interviewed your father for this.
Yeah, maybe
awesome.
we should call Dad. But
Yeah, cool.
I'll ask him.
Phone
for
a
pictures.
dad.
I'll be like, yeah, phone. We bought him for Christmas or his birthday a couple years ago, like bird cameras to set up. so
Oh
we can
yeah,
watch.
my brother-in-law has one of those.
He has not. They are
Yeah.
sitting in the box.
They're very
on
expensive.
The table. I know. My sisters and I went in on it together. He hasn't set them up, so Daddy.
Maybe it's too technologically advanced. So maybe
No,
we should
he's a freaking rocket scientist. He's technologically advanced. He has little.
He just doesn't want to.
He just hasn't done it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe he has ADHD.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he does.
We were talking about ADHD before we started recording. That's where that came from. But yeah, you never know.
I'll get him tested for his
75th
birthday.
Yeah, they help with orioles or they bring orioles and tanagers and other types of birds. So send me pictures because I'm curious.
I will. I will find you Daddy's Oriole picture. I'll see if he has
nice.
Yeah.
Because Baltimore Orioles.
He'll figure out how to listen to podcasts. Listen to this episode, perhaps.
There you go. See, I'm telling you, he's not as technologically advanced as you think. He's just old.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Okay. He's pretty on top of it. You're right, though. I am biased. He's my father.
He's just old. And it's hard sometimes. I'm old. I'm not. But I am, like, technologically
when someone's
a
like,
Luddite.
oh, I'm moving over to Blue Sky, I'm like, I can't go without me.
That could be from the Terminator movies. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Start another social media. I cannot.
No.
I can't.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Learning to use a tablet is hard for me. Anyway, yeah.
No, exactly. Anyway, so then there's also two others, ground feeders, which seem really cool. They sit like a few inches off the ground. Obviously, I think
Squirrels.
some of them have, yes.
Okay.
I think some of them do have protection for squirrels, but yeah, I don't know. Like little cage, I don't know what, but that was really interesting. I was like, oh, I kind of want to look into that. And then there's also hopper feeders where they actually hop on them and the seeds come out. I don't know what the difference is or why, but they exist. So.
You train the... well, okay, you think about, like, a lot of birds, like grackles around here, robins, do a lot of ground hunting, right? Mm-hmm. So if they hop on it, that gives them that kind of simulation, I would assume.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe that's the point.
There's so many birds. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so in summary... The nice thing about this is that you don't need like a big backyard. You can do it from your balcony. And I have that one pasted to my window, and it's not like I have a ton of bird poop everywhere.
Right.
So try it. I mean, I don't know, why the hell not? Or hummingbirds. They don't poop everywhere. So
hummingbirds are wild. I'll send you some videos of the hummingbird fights in my dad's backyard for sure.
Oh my gosh. Apparently they're really territorial.
Oh, they are. Oh my god. It's like they're wild.
Oh my god.
And they don't care. You're just sitting there like sipping some iced tea and watching these hummingbirds dive bomb each other from 2 feet away.
Oh my god.
My dad's backyard is it. You love my dad's backyard for sure.
I would. I need to see it one day soon. I also will say that reminded me that I saw, I'm pretty sure, a robin orgy the other day.
Oh, yikes.
It was...
I feel like that would be scarring.
It was so wild. I was outside working in my yard, and there's a tree next to me, and it was like 5 or 6 robins just went wild. And they were all like slamming into each other and falling to the ground. And then it seemed clear that they were trying to mate, but then they would fight each other over who they were going to mate with. Weird. They didn't give 2 shits that I was right there.
They're like, we're busy, lady. Don't.
Yikes. Like, oh my god. And it was such a ruckus that I was like, I feel like I need to give them some privacy for a minute.
Like, I don't want to watch this. I need to give them privacy for my sake.
Yes. It was so weird. And then I left. I was like, I gotta go. But then like 5 minutes later they were gone. So I don't
birds are quick. There's
Apparently.
We have a lot of
white-winged. I didn't know they fought like that.
I didn't know that either. White-winged doves here that we have a lot of, they will get on a ledge or a fence post or whatever and like flick their tails like this. And that's like, I'm horny. And then they'll come and I'm like, if I see a white-winged dove doing that, I'm like, laters, I don't want to watch it. Like, get a room. Leave. Get a room. But yeah, it's fascinating.
It's so interesting. Which also made me feel good because I've been doing so much work on my yard to put like natives.
They're like, we're gonna breed here.
Yes, this is our space now.
This is our love hotel. Yeah. You made a heartbreak hotel for the robins.
It's like, all right.
Slow clap.
All right.
No, that's huge though.
Yeah.
I mean, because the death of birds is a huge, not to bring it back to greening up my act, but it's a huge problem in the United States.
It is. like their original land is gone. If you think about it,
Yeah.
they used to have all the world,
Plains and forests and
yeah. And I will say I planted black-eyed Susans, and the little goldfinches love to land on them and then like swing around.
That's so cute.
And eat the seeds, and
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's so fun. So even on a freaking balcony or whatever you have, plant some black-eyed Susans and you'll be in love.
I love it.
Yeah.
Birding is
Yeah,
the
and
millennial
I want to actually try
clubbing.
like birding because it's fun. It's really like a house wren. How would not house wren? House finch. Why
Yes.
is it's not even pretty? But I was like, oh my god, a house finch.
I love finches. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
This one might have been a female, so it wasn't that pretty. But
we have a Carolina wren, I think, or something. It's this little brown bird, and you're like, and then it sings, and you're like, oh my god, that song. Yeah.
yes, yeah, it's amazing. It's so
We
fun.
have mockingbirds here too that are.
Oh yeah, apparently we do too. I've never noticed or seen one. Or
Well, they're the Texas state bird, honey. So you gotta bring out your
Oh.
guns and your barbecue
Oh,
before the
okay.
mockingbird will come out. Probably.
Gotcha.
Just mention it was Willie Nelson's 92nd birthday recently, and they'll come singing.
okay, perfect.
We care deeply about this in Texas.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't realize we even had any, but
Yeah, you do.
That's what I read.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a broad range of territory.
yeah, makes sense.
But
So.
cool.
I think
Okay.
ours is probably the cardinal. You know, it's like every state bird is a cardinal. There's that really funny article from years ago about the state birds and like what they should be and why why they shouldn't all be cardinals.
Well, in New Mexico.
Oh man, I'll link that because it's so funny.
Okay, link that.
Such a good article.
But you know what it is in New Mexico?
what?
The roadrunner.
A cardinal? Oh, okay.
We don't really have cardinals. I guess we do. Not really. No, it's the roadrunner, which is a freaking prehistoric dinosaur.
That is crazy. Actually, I've never seen one, and that's
They're like taking over the city now. When I was a kid, it was
Oh.
like, ooh, a roadrunner, and now it's like, oh, frick, another roadrunner.
oh
They
my
eat
god,
lizards. They're pretty wild.
that's cool.
I'll find you this video Sean sent me about a roadrunner that like got rehabilitated by a woman, and she let it go, and it keeps coming back and like jumping on her head and bringing her presents. and
Oh
stuff.
my god,
Roadrunners are wild though. They're like little dinosaurs.
That's awesome.
They're like chicken size. So
Yeah, I always think of them as bigger, but I know they're not.
yeah, no, Looney Tunes lied to you. They're not blue.
Yeah,
They're brown.
fair.
But they're cool. I'll send you videos.
Yeah, I do. We have a lot of things to share.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
Look,
well,
it
that
was another
it.
hour. See, when we talk
Yeah,
about things
right.
you like.
I was like, man, this is gonna be. Stop hitting my mic. I was like, this is gonna be so short, but nope.
No, we can talk about birds for hours.
Right? I should have known.
There's a song by the Innocence Mission that I like when I was writing up the show notes. Like I was like the wonder of birds, and I think I will link that in the Instagram post if I can find it. Because
I'm gonna put that. Let's see. What is it? What did you say?
the wonder of birds, and it's a song about like learning to fly. And I don't know. I love that song.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's from the 80s.
Love it. All right. Yeah. Do you know what you're talking about next week, or are you not sure yet?
I think I'm going to talk about Ridwell. Well, and Buy Nothing groups, like the art of tiny, because I'm going through it right now, like getting rid of stuff.
Uh-huh.
The joy of getting rid of stuff in an ecological manner.
Yes.
Because
I
we've
love that
talked
so
about
much.
Ridwell, we've talked about Goodwill, we've talked about Buy Nothing
Uh-huh.
groups. So, and maybe you can contribute some about Free Cycle, but we're just gonna effuse about how wonderful these things are. So
Yes.
that's my
okay.
plan.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So please
Cue the bird song.
if you aren't a Patreon member yet, go
Look
join
into
us
it.
over there because
we're
we are going to do some really cool stuff coming up. We're probably going to talk about ADHD. And yeah, get the app. Apparently, a Patreon app is a lot better. Just
Okay,
heads up.
good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you
Thank
next week.
you. Bye.
Enjoy birds.